Let's keep things moving here on BOXTOROW. We're joined by a gentleman. As a matter of fact, he's in his first season as the head men's basketball coach at the University of Miami. Big time win by the Hurricanes over Carolina. And as a matter of fact, the Hurricanes going to be right here in Raleigh on Saturday, taking on North Carolina State. Jay Lucas, the head coach of the Hurricanes, joining us right here on BOXTOROW. Coach Lucas, welcome to the program.
Thanks. You appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. That's a big time win against UNC. I mean, I got to say, I think everybody knows that. It's a win in which, if I read the box score correctly, you never trailed in that basketball game. Take us through that and how big a win that was for your program.
Well, it's big just because we needed a stamp to kind of get us over the hump to finish out the rest of the season. In that sense, we've been playing good, but our other ranked opponents we hadn't beat. So hopefully in beating one and the guys feeling that they can do it and get over that hump, it'll give us momentum to finish the season the right way.
And again, in looking at the box score, like UNC may come and may tie the game, or you may have had them by 10, double digits. They come right back, make a run, but they never took the lead. And every time they made a run, you answered that run. Can you speak to that? Had that happened to you in any other basketball game this season?
Yeah, we have. We've been in these moments a lot. You look at all our ACC games. We've been in kind of these moments where we've come back and we've won. We've come back and it's gone down to the wire and it went either way. So it wasn't anything new. It wasn't an environment that was new. It wasn't a new situation that we hadn't been in. It was just doing what we've always done. And that was my message to the guys after the game. And my message to them still, like, we didn't do anything special. We played Miami basketball. Everything we did in that game is what we've done in every other game. So it's just show just how good we are and the consistency, but most importantly, the discipline that we have to play with to continue to win.
Losses to Cal and Florida State in an 11-day time frame. Those two teams are towards the bottom of the ACC. I don't know if this is the right phrase, but was that sort of maybe a wake-up call for your team?
I don't necessarily think it was a wake-up call. I think it just goes to show the strength of the ACC, to be honest with you. In both those games, I think the one wake-up call and the one thing that we can really kind of hone in on and tell our guys is we just turned the ball over too much. We gave away too many possessions. And in this conference and in big-time games, you can't give away free possessions and you can't give away turnovers that lead to points, to be honest with you. And we did that both in those games. The Cal game, we were up 12. And then we kind of just struggled down the stretch. The Florida State game, I felt like we still had a hangover from what Clemson happened, and they really came out and punched us in the face early. And so both those games, we kind of, and then a lot of our losses, we kind of did it to ourselves.
Jay Lucas, again, he's in his first season as the head men's basketball coach at Miami, the Hurricanes. He joins us right here on BOXTOROW. This is in looking at the ACC standings and where the ACC has been in the last couple of years in terms of seeding and even getting teams into the tournament. North Carolina State, I mean, you guys are separated by a half of a game. North Carolina State has played a first-year head coach also, plays some really, really good basketball as well. Can you speak to this? Coach Lucas, this is a big-time basketball game. You guys coming here to Raleigh to play North Carolina State.
It is, and they all have been. The league is just so much better this year. I think all the coaches that were in the league prior did a good job of kind of revamping and remolding their teams. And then the new coaches that came in, like you're talking about Will Wade, but also Ryan Odom, and even Luke Louts. These guys have come in with different philosophies, different brand of basketball that have also elevated the league as well. And so this is what ACC basketball has traditionally been, and this is what it feels like it will be moving forward. And with North Carolina State, just talking about them in the game this weekend, these are the games you want to be in. You have the same record. You're fighting for bye in the tournament. You're fighting to be towards the top 4 of the league and playing in games that matter. That's all you can ask for this time in February.
What kind of challenges does the Wolfpack present?
They're extremely aggressive on both ends of the floor. Defensively, they get after you, they pressure, they switch, they do a lot of things to create turnovers and kind of create havoc. And then offensively, they're shooting the 3 at a high clip. You know, they're one of the best teams in the country at makes, but also percentages. And so they play fast. They shoot a lot of threes. They spread you out. They switch. They try to keep you guessing. You know, Coach Wade has always been a great coach. And he's doing the same thing that he's done at LSU and VCU and everywhere he's been before. He's doing it now in North Carolina State.
Jay Lucas, the head men's basketball coach at Miami, joining us here on the program for a couple of more moments. Malik Runno, I mean, look, you got a talented team, right? Like the team is talented, but this guy, boy, he's putting up some really good numbers. He's shooting 56% from the field. He's just getting it. He's just doing it for you, shooting 36% from 3-point range. Just talk about him and what he's meant as a transfer from Indiana to this basketball team.
Well, he's been huge. You know, he was the first guy to commit to us, and he also was kind of the first guy I envisioned in building this team around, and putting him in the situation and the position, and he's delivered, to be honest with you. But also our team has accepted him being who he is and being the best player and being kind of the focal point of the team. And that's made it a lot easier to be able to coach and be able to tell the guys. But he has gotten better since he's been here. He's gotten in shape. He's playing with a elite level confidence right now. And so, you know, Malik to me is one of the best players in the conference. And I think he is at this moment, and he's got to continue to play. I think he's somebody that's first team all conference.
You're a young coach, first year, first time head coach, first year head coach at Miami. Coaching is in your blood. You know, John Lucas, great coach from right up the road in Durham. As a matter of fact, how's that? And just kind of talk about some of the things, maybe that some of the wisdom he's imparted upon.
You know, I always say this, ever since I was young, he's my foundation of basketball. You know, he's the one that gave me everything I know about the game, from work ethic to understanding it to being able to teach it, communicate it, just growing up in the gyms with him, around him, seeing him coach, seeing him teach. You know, it's funny because I'll say some of the things he would say, and I find myself laughing sometimes because I sound like him in my own way. But his just impact, not only as a basketball, but just as a father and a man on me. I mean, I can't put it in words.
Yeah, you're like the Progressive commercial. Don't be like your parents, you know, if you will. But then, like, immediately once your time in professional basketball was up, I mean, you immediately went into coaching. Coach under Rick Barnes, Shaka Smart, John Calipari. Like that, when you're talking about those coaches, you're talking about a who's who of coaches. And can you speak to some of the wisdom maybe they have and did impart upon you as well?
Yeah, I've been blessed. I've been blessed to be in these situations and to work with really good people and work for really good people. You know, I played for Billy Donovan and Rick Barnes, and then went back and worked for Rick Barnes. And just his intensity that he brings every day in practice was the one thing I took from him, and the carryover. And then going to work for Coach Cal, you know, the one thing I stole from him, just his brutal honesty and his clarity of making sure that everybody knows what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we're doing it, which is also very important. For me, Shaka Smart was really the first person that planted the seed of being a young head coach in my brain. And he invested a lot of time in my development as a coach. We would meet weekly and have what we called becoming a head coach classes. And it was about not becoming a head coach, but becoming a successful head coach. That was the title he gave it. So, you know, that was always important to me. And then I got the opportunity to go to Duke and work for John Shire. And then working for him, it was important because he also was a young head coach taking over a job for his first time. And it was a really good lesson in just seeing what it takes those first initial years to get the program going, being a first time head coach, some of the stuff, the ups and downs, some of the things you go through. And the one thing I took from him is just his attention to detail and building the program, and his own vision, especially taking over a program with a historic tradition. You know, I'm following the best coach in Miami basketball history, you know. So it's a similar type of journey that I'm embarking on as well. So, you know, all these situations that I've been in and everywhere I've been has prepared me for this opportunity.
Yeah, Jim Larinaga, of course, right before you. But I was going to mention, I was saving John Shire for last because you guys were number 1 and number 2 in terms of recruiters. He said, I got to stop battling against this guy. Let me just go ahead and hire him here at Duke. Because the interesting thing about that also is you were the first non-Duke player to be hired in 30 years at Duke.
Yeah, I think that just speaks to Coach Shire and the way he works and the way he operates. You know, for him, it's about hiring the best people and doing what's best for the program, and being okay with stepping outside the box of what traditionally has been done if he thinks is what's best for the program. And that opportunity, going there and being able to work at Duke and be around, you know, those people, and just the program and seeing how it's run and stuff has helped me tremendously.
Jay Lucas, again, he's the head men's basketball coach at Miami, joining us right here on Box to Row. The Hurricanes, tell you what, big-time battle against North Carolina State on Saturday in Raleigh. Coach Lucas, appreciate the time. Continued success to you and the Hurricanes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.